Now this is one of the things we use as a tack cloth for fine finishing and painting. When a car is wheeled into into a paint booth, what we usually do is we use something called sure wheel cleaner, or it is it's a solvent that we put on the primer to take off any contaminants that may disrupt the paint. The tack cloth is basically a cheesecloth with a little bit of beeswax on it that makes it sticky. Now when you go to paint, what do you want to eat some of that? Go on, come on, moron. Come on, you can do it, Forrest. See, this is my gray cat. What's your name, cat? I'll give you $100 if you can spell your name. His name's Bob. Come on, cat. Can you spell your name backwards? Come on. It's okay. $100. $100, Bob, if you can spell your name backwards. Okay? Come on. What do you do for a living, Bob? Well, she just told me she makes table candles. Wow, that's great, Bob. How do you make those? And she just told me that she pours hot wax on a table and lights it on fire. Don't you? Okay. For $200, spell your name backwards. Come on, you can do it, Bob. Come on, Bob. Bob, come back here. So we use a tack cloth, and it picks up dust. Now you can use a tack cloth on like wood if you're doing anything you need to pick up dust. The trick is you need to lightly brush it over the project. You don't want to, there's a piece of dust right there. You don't want to press in, because you'll press the wax into the surface and it will stay there. And we use that just before we paint, because paint tends to create static, and the static creates something called static cling. That's how we use it. We use a tack cloth. And on this reducer, it recommends, it says right here in the back here, it recommends that you use a reducer between 732 and 736. Now what they're saying is, in cold weather, you use a cool reducer, which means that it will flash quicker or faster because you don't have the heat to evaporate it. Then you can get like a normal temperature reducer. You can also get a hot reducer, which will retard the paint from drying, so it doesn't dry too fast on it, so you can keep a nice liquid edge on everything. So that's another thing. But when we go to paint this, we are totally hostage to the clear and its time of drying. You have 24 hours. Yes, that's right. But when you do a professional job like this, every piece has got to be laid out, all set up, all clean with no fingerprints, like you can see there. They all have to stay in one spot, unlike the Duplicolor, where you can just spray and splash and dash and blow and go and do it whenever you want. We have to set the objects down in a special pattern where they're going to be undisturbed for about an hour, and do our spraying, and then we've got to clean the gun up. Now this little detail gun was bought at Walmart. If I was going to do production, I would go down to a auto body store and do a lot of research and find one that really had a good action to it, a good tip, and it felt very good for what I wanted to do. And I prefer a cup under, like this is. But that's just me. But this is what you need to know if you go to a store and you buy this stuff and you want to know, I've never seen it before, what do I do? So we stir this up really good, and we pour out 4 parts of this to 1 part of this hardener to 1 part of reducer. And you want to pour every bit of it through a strainer. You can buy these fine strainers, and the reason that we use a strainer, and I have black paint on me, I know it looks like shit, but I'm not goth, believe me. They wouldn't even have me. But we move them through a strainer because you don't know exactly what's in these cans or how long it's been there, and you don't want a big glob of clear, old clear, to hit your project, and then you're going to have to sand it out and redo it. That's why we use strainers. And after you get through painting, you want to take the reducer, or we use lacquer thinner on everything. I don't have any lacquer thinner, but you want to shake this up really good with lacquer thinner in it. Then you want to pour it out. Then you want to put some clean lacquer thinner in it. You want to have your air on there, and you want to blow out all of this hardener paint stuff out of there. Very good, and I'll show you how to do that too. But if you don't take care of your equipment, your professional equipment, it won't last you very long. And the cleaner your gun is, the better your job's going to be. So our next step is to set this up and do it. And it's real windy today. I don't know if I can set it up today, but if we can, we'll do it. And I'll show you how to do this the amateur backyard way to put on professional clear coat.